mega project or a mega initiative named Decent Life or Hayat Karima. The initiative is targeting 58 million Egyptian people in the countryside or in the rural areas, out of 102 Egyptians, meaning that we are speaking about such a mega project. Well, 700 billion Egyptian pounds are allocated to implement the initiative on the ground, and it's going to cover such big places in Egypt, whether to improve the standard of living of those Egyptians or to modernize the infrastructure and services introduced to all of them. We already launched the first phase, and it's becoming bigger a day after the other. We are going to continue with the Decent Life initiative coverage with Mr. Zakaria Othman, a writer or a journalist in Al Ahram. Mr. Othman, a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Very good afternoon to you, sir.
Sir, we are speaking about Decent Life initiative as a mega project which targets 58 million Egyptian people in the rural areas. How do you see this initiative as a way to change the lives of all those millions of people and to take them to a better tomorrow?
First of all, to begin with, let me say that Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is trying to elevate the living standard or the system of living of all the Egyptians, particularly the low-income people. That's why he launched his presidential initiative, adopted or called as the Decent Life initiative. Actually, everybody knows that the cost of this initiative is around half a trillion Egyptian pounds. I mean, 500 billion Egyptian pounds. It covers the development of lots of villages all over Egypt, and it changes the life of the low-income people or the poor people. I mean, those people who are living under the poverty line upside down. So whatever I try to express myself concerning this, the great presidential initiative, I mean, Decent Life, I'll be completely disabled because it has the first initiative of its kind in the world. Let me say, even the world countries, even the first is the advanced countries like U.S., Japan, Canada, UK, Italy, France, and Germany. Okay, who don't have very poor villages, but actually they have ever never. I mean, they don't have very poor villages like Egypt, but they have ever never tried to launch as a huge initiative as Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's one. So what I want to say is this initiative represents a turning point in the Egyptian, in the contemporaneous Egyptian history, because it will change the life of the poor people upside down. It will allow them to live like us and to have a decent life. I mean, all the services such as the internet, the telephone services, in addition to the sanitary drainage, the clean drinking water, all these services will be available under the Decent Life presidential initiative. So we have to greet Mr. President, and we have to greet this era which is under his umbrella. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Othman, if you permit me to continue speaking about this initiative, but from another perspective, the awareness of the Egyptian people. Now the Egyptian people knew about this initiative, and each time President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi visits a new governorate or a new province in Egypt, and he spoke with our citizens, and when they do ask him to include their village to the initiative, he took the decision on the spot. Now you are added. How do you see the people's reaction, and knowing well that this initiative is really going to change their lives to another standard, or to change to change their lives radically?
Okay, actually, I'd like to say that everybody here in Egypt right now is betting on the awareness with Egyptians because okay, let me, before talking about the actions of Egyptians, whether poor or rich, let me talk about the element of awareness, because nothing can be achieved without such an element, without having such an element. Of course, I'd like to say just one thing, which is every Egyptian has to be aware of what is happening right now in Egypt concerning the recent positive changes, or the recent great accomplishments which are achieved in Egypt, not only in the urban societies, but in the rural one as well. So what I want to say is every Egyptian has to be aware of what is happening or taking place around him, and he has to contribute to activating this in presidential initiative and with decent life, where he has to allow to go into effect. Let me say, or let's ask just a question: how this can happen? Of course, it can happen easily once every Egyptian knows that he has to give an accurate data, simply because the Egyptian president is doing his best to, as we have previously said, to ameliorate and to improve the living standard of every Egyptian, particularly the poor. But actually, everybody and all the Egyptians have to cooperate with the presidency, and they have to work for the interest of Egypt, or on behalf of Egypt. So let me say, everybody has to tell the truth, and nobody should be a liar. So if somebody if somebody wants to get a benefit, or to take an advantage of such an initiative, he has to give a correct data. He has not to be